Welcome everyone. Such fantastic to have you. I see people are coming in. We'll just give it a little bit of a minute or two while more people are entering the room. But please, big welcome to yourselves. It's great to have you here onto the Art of Pitching SACE 2022, the road to pitching as a finalist at SACE 2022, where deals come true. That's our mission, that's our goal, to make deals come true. So please jump in. You're very welcome. We'll just give it 30 more seconds. I see more people are pitching in and jumping into the room. While you're coming in, we want to welcome you all. It's going to be a really exciting, jam-packed, hard-hitting pitching workshop and onboarding that we'll be going through today. But in the meantime, just post in the chat who you are, name of your business, and where you're calling from. And then maybe one line already, you can start pitching us. Whatever it is that you're looking for this year, what is your main mission? Are you fundraising? Are you looking for clients? Are you commercializing? What are you hoping to achieve in the next 3 months, or just what your business is about? One line or so. Already, let's start pitching in the chat, sort of saying hello, who you are, and where you are from. It's awesome to have you here. We're just getting a little bit more people jumping in. So please do introduce yourself in the chat. Tell us who you are, where you're calling from, what your business is about, and what you are pitching right now. What does your business do? What is it that you hope to achieve in the 3 months? Are you fundraising? Are you looking for clients? Are you pitching co-founders? What is it? Are you looking for grants? What is it that you are pitching in the next 3 months? Welcome, Puleng. Hi. Hi to you too, Puleng. Welcome. Thanks so much for saying hi.
Hi, how are you?
Great. I know it's not only Puleng on the call. I see Shanae. Shanae is from Team Mahal, calling from Cape Town. It's great to have you, Shanae. And Elsa, founding of Blooming Goods, all the way from Cape Town, making sunflower seed butters. That's fantastic, Shanae. Elsa, it's really great to hear about your business there. And then we've got also Shiam from Slash in Botswana, zero rate app. You're looking to launch your app in South Africa. That's fantastic pitch right there. Shiam, wishing you all the best on that. And like I said, this road is the road to SACE 2022, where pitching happens and deals come true. This is the road to deals coming true. Puleng, you're saying you're from Polokwane. You do Motupa PJ Enterprise, manufacturing non-electric slow cooker. That's fantastic. That's a great one-line pitch right there. Got it all, got to understand. Also from Botswana, Francistown College of Programming. Hoitzamang, welcome to you as well. Gift, calling from Joburg, co-founder of Udoti, which makes you more circular by tracking real-time data on post-industrial and post-consumer waste. I knew that had to do with something about waste. Udoti, that's very cool. And we've got Drini Woodus, also company is meant to be and supporting beekeepers. That's wonderful in rural SA. It's really amazing to have you all here. Tabiso, welcome to you too. Andrew, fantastic to have you. Welcome, guys. Really great. Without further ado here, I see as we're getting these introductions streaming in, people saying hello, we're getting to know each other on the road and the journey to deals come true. Let's remember, guys, this whole session here today is about how do we refine your pitch, your conversation, your communication so that your deals can come true. And part of that is the Tech Tribe Accelerator Art of Pitching program. And so today, we're really giving you an overview we're giving you an onboarding of what this program is about, because you're going to be taking a journey between now and the 26th of September of preparing, practicing, and refining your pitch, whatever that might be. And you'll be using the Tech Tribe Accelerator platform, where you go online and you're able to access content, videos, and exercises that will help you to rethink how you're currently pitching, to incorporate some things, maybe there's things that you want to reposition. And that's the hope of these coming 3 weeks. And I'll touch on that briefly in the course overview. And then we also have a keynote by our very own Yvonne Rivers from Phoebe Global International. An amazing, really renowned speaker and business coach on the topic of, bringing together people to pitch. Bringing people together to do a dragon style Shark Tank, Lions Den, you name it. All the dangerous people. And were able to deploy capital. She's been there, done that. And prepared and worked with, in different continents here in Africa, in the States, and really amazing to have her here today. Thank you, Yvonne, for joining us to share us your nuggets of wisdom. Looking forward to that. And then we'll go into the platform itself. So this will really be an opportunity for everyone to see, thanks to Shane, who'll give us a demo of when you get your access details, how do you actually make the most of the platform. So we can then close off with Q&A if we still have time, trying to make it for that, but certainly want to make sure that we do get an opportunity for you guys to give us to give us your thoughts, because we want to hear from you what's on your mind. And that is all on what we'll be discussing today. I'm just going back to the chat here because I want to give a shout out to everyone that's online as much as possible, for us to get to know each other, to get to hear about who's in the room. I've got Ketsi from representing Dialects Purification, liquid waste processor in Durban. That's great. Yvonne Wies from co-founder of Wilson Media. That's fantastic. Vaughn, it's great to have you here. And you guys do new ideas and innovations in 3D. Matome from Polokwane, founder of Mangaung Animal Feeds. It's really fantastic. It's great. Welcome, Asitandile. Welcome, Magnaim, Ambata, Ms. Ambata. It's great to have you all here. Thanks for greeting in the chat. Now, I won't take too much of our time here. I just want to make sure actually that I time myself, and also I've got my colleague online, Dwayne, who's supporting us in the background. So whenever you see things happening and screens moving and communications happening, you should know that's Dwayne making it all happen in the background. And he'll also keep me accountable on time here, so that in the next 10 minutes, I can give you an overview of what we'll be doing in the Art of Pitching course. Once again, my name is Buntu Majaja from SA Innovation Summit, where we believe that entrepreneurs such as yourselves are the ones that are building the continent. We believe that if we can support entrepreneurs such as yourselves to be connected to resources, to be connected to opportunities, and wherever there are gaps, to refine those gaps, is that we're going to build a continent together. And so that's our ethos and why we wake up in the morning. And this program and the platform of the SA Innovation Summit is a platform to do exactly that. This program is to close the gaps, refine, give you an opportunity to build confidence. And when you get to the summit, you've also asked questions and you understand what's there to expect, so that when you are in front of the right people at the right time at the summit, you say the right things, which will either start the conversation to a deal or will close the deal on the floor for you. That does happen sometimes, where people walk away, shake hands, and you walk away with the deal. But most of the time, it's really about soliciting that interest, and that's not an easy thing to do. Already going into that, a lot of practice, determination, and resilience, as you all as entrepreneurs would know. And so what the art of pitching course really then covers is going to be primarily these 5 outcomes here. You're going to walk away some sort of script. If you have one, you will probably refine it and review it by getting input from the content that we have, that we've sourced that from investors around the continent, sourced that from our experience of working with over 1,500 entrepreneurs in the Tech Tribe Accelerator, and working with in over 23 different African countries. And so the key aspect here about your script is that it captures from beginning to end. And that's what we want to, one of the things that you want to walk away with, or refine the script that you have. Always perfection, iterating, if you already have one. And then that really ties into a pitch deck, which is the visual aid that supports the script. Script is the conversation. You've got your visual aid to support the script. Sometimes you don't have a visual aid, an opportunity to use a visual aid, and you've got different types of scripts. But when you walk out of here, you should have been able to checklist and review your own pitch deck to say, am I comfortable? Is there something that I want to rethink? And maybe work with your team to ask yourselves, how could we incorporate more of what is being said here? Or let's just get an understanding of where we are at. Is our pitch deck ready? And then thirdly is the types of pitches. Many of you are different, all of you actually are in different stages, different industries, different markets, different circumstances inside your business. And all of these things will determine what type of pitch are you going to be optimizing for. What's the thing right now that's gonna allow you to achieve your next, the best? Is it capital that you're looking for? Is it a strategic partner that you're looking for? Is it capital with a strategic partner? And that if it's one or the other, it's not going to work for you. So this is, or maybe it's more of a commercialization branch. So wherever it is that you're at, and whomever that you might be pitching to, you want to be very clear on seeing things from their perspective. And that's what this type, understanding the array of the approach in which your pitch can come from. And then that will go to different kinds of investors. And really here we are looking at particularly equity investors and venture investors. And so we start talking about how those as a business, you can raise capital. And then lastly is about the audience. Which audience are you speaking to? The deal is that anything that you say out of your mouth at any point in time, you are pitching. Right now, I'm pitching to you, but how important this program can be and how I believe it will support you in your next steps and your journey going into the summit. Whenever you're speaking to your employees, you are pitching them. Whether that's on tasks that need to be done, projects that need to be done, whether you're speaking to your partners, you're pitching them on ideas, on strategies. When you're talking to your clients, you are pitching them. Sometimes you don't even have to be there to pitch. When you post your Instagram promotion, that's a pitch. And so every single one of these pitches have a context and they have an audience. And it's important that when you go into pitching at the summit and you're talking in different contexts, whether that's in the registration booth while you're registering next to someone, or it's in the deal room or it's on stage. These will be different audiences and contexts, and you want to start thinking about what are those scenarios that you could find yourself at the summit. Now, it's worth stressing that anything that comes out of this is in your hands. Whatever you put into this is what you're going to get out. I've got about 3 minutes left now, but this is never enough to stress that when you are operating on the Tech Tribe Accelerator, it's a space to feel safe when you are operating in terms of uploading exercises. When you are discussing in our workshops here, in our workshop on the 26th, that's a space for you to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. You can even experiment a little bit on your pitching style and trying things that you haven't before, such that when you do get into in front of the audience, you've experienced that that scenario. And so I really want to encourage you to plan out the coming days, so that you spend enough time every single week, at least 2 hours every week in the coming 3 weeks on this program. And from that would be the bare minimum of what you get. But of course, there might be questions that pop up as you go through the content. And then you need to go do a little bit extra research. You might want to reach out to your mentor. You might want to talk to your colleagues and your team members and your co-founders. And all of that sort of iterates and circles back to more value that you're going to get out of this program. There is also important to note that this program does not go in any venture building skills, any venture building content, market analyses, financial modeling, etc., route to market. All of those are assumed that you have or are working on. And this is about how do you craft those things into a storyline that will capture your audience and get a deal. We want to get deals. And really, I want to leave off with this thought here, that for any pitch that you do, there are really 5 fundamental things. The first one is identifying why this is important. That's the problem or the opportunity. Why is this important? This is usually what gets people even starting listening to you in an elevator or on the stage. You make it, and so there you gotta once put yourselves in their position, make it relevant for them. And then you bring it back to why. So why is it important for them to listen to you? And then secondly, why is what you're about to say actually going to help them, or how is it going to help them? What is the thing that you are bringing that's going to solve the problem, that's going to answer the question of why it's important? So whatever it is that might be bothering them, whatever it is that they desire or they think about, or their objectives, you meet them in the problem, but then now you talk about how you're actually going to solve that problem. And then you want to touch on, not only are you solving the problem, but how do you go beyond that? Yes, you can solve the problem, but what's the value that you're adding? What's the value that you're bringing from your efforts, from your input? Almost a little bit about what's unique about how you're approaching this problem. Sometimes it doesn't even matter if you're doing the problem in the same way everyone else has been doing it, like Patagonia making bags. But the way that they added value is that they say that we don't want to have ongoing consumption, and that when you buy something from us, you should buy it once and you can bring it back and fix it, so that you don't end up throwing things away and creating trash and so on and so on. And so they're solving a problem of get a bag, a training bag or a surf kit, which everyone else does, but the value that they bring is that is that they care about the planet, and the problem is really about the planet. It's not about the bag. So these things add on to each other. And lastly is the credibility as well as the call to action. This is to say, why can we trust you? So we get the problem, we get that you bring the solution, but why are you the ones that we can invest in? Why are you the ones that we can partner with? And is that what we should do? What's the call to action? So what? So what now? What should we do now? That's then the call to action. So these 5 building blocks, if you can take them off in every conversation you're having about your business at the summit, which I hope that most of you want to get deals, will be going with that mindset, is that you cover these areas aggressively. But let's pause there. And now I want to hand over to our very own, and please help me here, bringing onto stage Ms. Yvonne Rivers from Phoebe Marketing Group to give us some pitching tips and tricks, especially for those that are going to be on stage in the Shark Tank, in the Dragon's Den, and in the Lions. What does the lion shows? Anyway, over to you, Ms. Yvonne. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Buntu. And first of all, congratulations to SA Innovation Summit. You're giving the background and all the steps they need. And I'm simply going to come in with some tips today, but the full shoot and shebang, as you say, on the 26th. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen, just take you through. Can you see the screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Let's see. Do I have permission to share screen? Okay, here we go. How about now?
Can see it, thank you.
We can see it, very good. How to pitch your business. Thank you, Buntu. You are always pitching. As long as you're talking, you're pitching. And I like to say a pitch is simply a conversation. Everyone you're talking to, you really are pitching because you're telling them who you are, what you do, and the benefit of connecting to them. They may not be your customer, your audience, but they probably know your customer or your audience. And I'm glad you put up there because we're in sync. The 5 steps to pitch success. You've got to tell your story. People don't know you. Never assume, oh, they've heard of you. They don't have a clue who you are. That's on you to tell them. So what's your story? What's your why, I like to say? Meaning you started this business for a reason. And as we talk about, what need are you fulfilling? What problems are you solving? Because if you're not solving a problem, why are you existing? It really isn't about you as the entrepreneur. It's about who you are serving. Who are you bringing your products or your services to? You ask yourself, as we say, how will you gain traction? All of these steps you've got to really verify and show people not only how you may have already started to do it, how are you doing it, how is it coming along, and how are you going to receive other traction and perceive and go to grow yourself even future. You've got to know your plan. I'm glad you said that, Buntu, because, you know, everyone who's been coming to the Art of Pitching, the class, the summit, you need to have done your background, your research, because that starts with you. Whenever you started your business, I don't care whether it was 3 months, 3 years, or 30 years ago, the question is why? And did you research who's your customer? Not only who is your customer, define them specifically. Don't just tell me women. Don't just tell me men. Don't just tell me for students. You've got to be specific, and you can't be specific if you have not done your research. So as we talk about is what's your success plan from A to Z. You know, Buntu, a lot of times people will ask me the question, they'll say, Phoebe, what's the biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs will make? And you know what I tell them? They do not think it through logistically. They suddenly may think in their mind, okay, I'm going to start this business. I'm going to get investors and I'm going to make $1 million in 2 years or R1 million in 2 years. But along with it is the fact, how actually are you going to do it? What are your steps? How will you and how much money can you make or will you make? Because you have to put it into practice. And it is step by step by step. You've got to believe in yourself. So a big part of pitching, you've got to have that energy. You've got to have that belief in yourself. Not you believe and I think, no, I know that this will be a success because I've done my research and studies have shown, or I have seen, or my clients have seen. Those are things and some of the words you'll be using with that. So always, there are many entrepreneurs out there. So what makes you different? What makes you different? That's a question you have to ask yourself. Not anyone else, but yourself. Don't assume, well, you know, I'm better because I started 2 years ago and my mama. No, it's not about that. Does your business fulfill a need? Why this business? Why this business? That's where your research comes in. Who else is doing it? Don't tell me no one else is doing it but me, or I don't have any competitors. Yes, there are. Now, what I will tell you, focus on the dream and the direction and the goal and the destination you're going to. And I like to say my only competition is excellence, because I've got to be the best at what I am. There are other people doing it, but I've got to set myself apart. So what makes you different? You've got to spend time in answering this question, because if you do not, they will put you in the same category. Well, you're just one of many. And when you're pitching your business, you've got, and I don't know the time, I think it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes. In that 5-minute period of time, you've got to catch their ear. Say some keywords that they will remember. I want to talk to them, because the purpose of the pitch is have a further conversation. Just like the purpose of a resume, if you're trying to get a job, is to get an interview. So your purpose of the pitch is to catch their ear with keywords, so you set yourself apart. You must set yourself apart and know that what makes the difference. And you've got to do some mirror work. And what I mean by that with mirror work is the fact that you got to be real with yourself. Don't try to cloud it over, well, I'm the best. Are you really? Are you really? You know, and you've got to really determine that you're going to be the best at what you're doing. And when I say tell your story, that's why your emotion, your impact of truly believing that this is a need, that you're serving to other people. It's not about you. It's about what you're bringing to the table. When Buntu talked about Patagonia, for as in making bags that are sustainable, they're year round, that was a mission. What's your mission? What's your story? What drives you? Where's your emotion? Where's your impetus? Where's your energy to show that I'm doing this because I want to provide something to minimize people doing this, doing that. I want to make a direct situation. I saw somebody put in the chat, we bring this to entrepreneurs here to make it easier. You've got to solve a need. But you've got to find out what that need is. That's where your research comes in. Because if you're not solving a need, you think you've got a great product or service, but if that's not meeting a need, that's not going to serve who you're going to. So know your story. Tell your story. Tell what your why is. Back again, step 2, the problems. Now, for those of you who don't have a business, or the people when you first started a business, 9 times out of 10, most people will start businesses because they were looking for something that they did not find. And if they did not find it, they say what I think is a necessity of invention. So you create it. If you find something that you need, whether you're a parent, you need something for your child, whether you're in a school district and schools need more educational tools or whatever it is, there was something missing. So how are you going to fulfill that need? What problems are you solving? So we still with the 5 steps. So tell your story, number 1. What problems are you solving, number 2? And exactly how you're going to do this. Don't just skip over this. We're going to come into Cape Town. We're going to come into Johannesburg, and we're going to start this business, and we're going to serve people to doing this, providing tools. Tools for what? How are you going to get the tools to them? What's the cost of it? How are you going to make money? You know, we talk about for his investments, equity investments or whatever, do you know who your true investor is? And what I mean by that is all money good money for you? And I ask that question because just because someone offers you money for an equity in your business, is that the right investor to take you to the next level? You have to know that. Just as you watch Dragon's Den or you watch Shark Tank here in the US, you'll see sometimes entrepreneurs will turn down deals. But you know what? That's okay. If that person is not, cannot and will not, and that not the best person to take you where you need to go. So you've got to know the traction, how you want to do it. What do you need the money for? You've got to specify that in your pitch. Don't just say, I want $1 million. What are you going to do with the $1 million? How are you going to spend it? Do you need marketing? And if so, why do you need marketing? What have you done before? And is this actually a good number that you need? So it comes down to for you really realizing specifically what you have to do. So tell your story, number one. Solve a problem, number two. Number three, for is how you're going to accomplish the steps that you're going to do. Number four, what's your plan? This is where you get into the detail. This is what you're going to put in your pitch deck. Now, for a pitch deck, just a tip for this, you should not have more than 8 or 9 PowerPoint slides. The reason why, and don't read your pitch deck to someone. I've seen many times in pitch competitions and they've got a deck on the screen and they're reading it to the judges. Now, whenever I'm a judge and somebody reads that pitch deck to me, I tune out. I tune out because you're insulting my intelligence and you're assuming I can't see the screen. You have got to know your pitch deck. And what I will do in my training, that if they have a pitch deck, I'll tell them, take down the pitch deck and give me your pitch. The pitch deck is simply to illustrate, to give an image, specifically with money. If you're talking about your revenue for its past 3 years, current year, or future years, numbers show better on the screen for them to see what your revenue was this year, next year, and so forth. So you don't have to go through 3,400,000, 200,000, whatever. So it's for images there. But you need to show that as a pictorial illustration. But you need to know your pitch. You need to know your pitch. So we say, what's your success plan? How will you make money? When you're talking about equity investors or just someone putting money into you, even as a loan, anyone who loans you money, they want to know you're making money to pay them back. Anyone who invests in your business with an equity, they're looking to make 4, 5 to 10 times the amount of investment they're putting in you. So if you're looking at $100,000 you're asking for, that investor is probably looking for 400 to $500,000 back. So you've got to show how your business is going to grow. So not only you can make money, your investors can make money, and you as a business will grow to the scale you need to be. So you have to be a visionary. Just because you've not done it before does not mean you cannot do it, but you have to show that you can do it. You have to show that you can do it. So I'm going to stop right there. We got some more details. We're going to a lot of different things, but we say I will go through this as an action plan. Buntu gave you the different steps. You need to be practicing, which is, I call it conversation of what you're going to say. Now let's talk about some different pitches. Now, elevator, that's why the elevator pitch, that terminology comes, because people for 1 to 2 minutes or 3 minutes, depending on how tall the building is how long you're in an elevator with someone. And the beauty of an elevator pitch, that you have a captured audience. They can't get off the elevator in between floors. So even if it's the first floor, you probably got a minute. If they're going to the top floor, 10th floor, maybe you got 3 minutes or whatever. So that's why the terminology of elevator pitch, but you really want to be able to have different types of pitches and times of pitches. You should have a basic 30-second pitch. This is a conversation when you're in a store, grocery store, a gas station or whatever, and you're meeting someone there, you're introducing yourself and tell them a general one-word statement. Hi, I'm Phoebe. I am your pitch coach to bring you success. I have many who have worked with them who've been on Dragon's Den or Shark Tank. That's a one statement. You need to come up with your one statement. That's 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5-minute pitches based on your audience, who you're pitching to, as well as if you're sitting down with an investor and so forth. So as we say, determine your target prospect list. You've got to know who you're going after. So when someone asks you, who's your customer, you know exactly who it is. You can define them down to their gender, to their lifestyle, to their income, to their education, to where they live. That's how detailed you need to do. The pitch deck is a combination of your probably 2-minute pitch and sort of expanding a little bit on there and putting some data behind it. Your capability statement, that's something official, which is a combination quasi pitch deck you can use. So once you start building this will take you from one level to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. So your pitch deck and putting in front of investors is your same proposal you're putting in front of people to get contracts, retainers from corporations and whatever. Money is money is money. And I say the quickest way to get money is a sale. And nothing happens until there is a sale. And you must practice, practice, practice your pitch, your compass. It has to imbibe you. It has to become part of you. It's not like, okay, let me do my pitch. No, every time you're existing, every day, 24/7, and we work 24/7 as entrepreneurs, you're having a conversation about your pitch. Search for different pitch competitions. That's the thing about it. I had a lot of different entrepreneurs. Well, they have success and maybe you pitched here and you won money. There's so many opportunities. That's on you to find them. So prepare to make money with your pitch, because your pitch can make you money. So this is just a teaser today. Get you ready for the 26th, where we'll go hard nosed, that you will have a pitch when you leave that session. You will know what type of investors you're looking for. Is it really someone for equity? And do you know your value of your business? A lot of times say, well, okay, you want $100,000 for 10%. You're really saying you got $1 million business. So how are you going to show that? So you need to know the numbers. You need to know your numbers, you need to know your business, and you need to know your why. Thank you, Buntu, for this time.
Thank you, Yvonne. That was absolutely brilliant. I'm putting up my hands, clap there. If you guys can join me to thank Yvonne, Ms. Yvonne Rivers, for those tips. And I'm really looking forward to that session on the 26th of September, where we'll really be going in deep. And I think at that time, you know, it's pretty much crunch time for everyone. So you know, people will be will be very receptive, and also there'll be still things to, you know, you're never ready. There'll still be things to pick up. So I'm really looking forward and appreciate that, and hope you guys were able to capture some thinking points already, some starting points, or just to be re-inspired. I found that very inspiring as well, Yvonne, you know, the various areas you were touching about there, and especially about believing in oneself. I want to appreciate your question in the chat. Who was it? Siviwe. Will come questions. We've noted it. My colleague and I, Dwayne, have noted the question. He's going to be feeding them back to us later and posing them back to me and Yvonne later, and we'll try and address those. So I want to remind you guys to pop those. If you got questions, you know, please feel free to put them into the chat. And we will make sure that we get to those towards the end. Feel free to pop them in, a kind reminder there. And I'm seeing many thanks coming in from Tabiso, Yvonne. They're saying thanks for the tips. Puleng is saying thanks for the tips, much appreciated. Shyam as well is appreciating them. I'm really glad to hear that, guys. It's great to hear. Lufuno will come to your chat as well. I want to quickly go over now to my colleague Shane, who's going to be coming online. And Shane is going to be taking us through the online platform, or the Tech Tribe Accelerator platform, just so that we get a sense as a demo how it works quickly for 5 minutes, and how you're going to be using that platform to access the training resources. Shane, over to you.
Thanks, Buntu. Thanks for the opportunity, and thank you and then Yvonne for such very insightful tips and then presentation. I really felt that, and I'm really looking forward to the course. So as my colleague Buntu said, I'll be taking you through the model onboarding. Hi everyone, my name is Shane. Well, I am pretty sure we all know or have an idea of how frustrating it is to enroll for an online course and not even know where to begin and find things, right? I'm going to help you be more effective so you can get the most out of pitching course on our learning platform. Well, assuming that you are all registered, if not, please get in touch with me or my colleague Buntu or Lindy. So I'll be sharing my screen. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
It's coming up, Shane. Yeah, I can see the Chrome.
Okay. First you just go over to the search bar, you type in Tech Tribe Accelerator, and then what you do there, you go over to the login or sign up option on the top bar, right? Oh, I was already logged in another account. So you type in your credentials there, your username and password, and you should the first screen that you should be seeing is the dashboard. So on the dashboard, what happens on the dashboard is that you see your most recent accessed courses. In your case, you should be able to see this one, or if you haven't started with the course, it should be empty. Don't panic. This section should be empty. Don't panic. It should have something as soon as you start with the course. So when you go over to home, you see the welcome screen there. So what I'm gonna cover is how you can access the course. There are two ways in which you can access the course. Here on the top navigation bar, you can go over, select home, and then after you select home, you should see this welcome screen. After that, you can scroll down, and when you scroll down, just below my courses, you can see the courses that you are enrolled in. So in your case, it should be this one, the Art of Pitching SAYS 2020 finalist, right? So another way is you tap over to the My Course tab right there. So you should be able to see all these courses. So you click on the course name, and what comes up as this view, here you should be able to see the announcements that are made in the course, and here you should be able to start discussions on your favorite topics that you found in the course, so you can be able to chat with your mentors, your fellow students right there. So here you can see the course modules, which is the overview, your pitch and your audience, right? So when you click on the course module, this should pop up. This is the module menu, right? So you click on the link right there, and then when you in this view, you can be able to navigate through the course content. And for easy navigation, you can notice that there's and next button right there. So you can be able to navigate to your next page or your previous page right there. So the next one, you can go over to page right there. You can see the module menu, right, that are covered in this module. So you can go over to the content, which I showed you in the previous menu. So here you can go over to Q&A preparations, which you be able to see common questions that might be asked during your pitch, right? So here you can be able to download the pitch canvas template, and the last menu item right there is a quiz. And please on this item, please note you can only attempt it once. So make note of that before taking the quiz. So you can click over, answer the questions, and you can leave it for later on. So yeah, I think that's it. So over to you, Buntu.
You very much for that, Shane, and sharing us with that. I think then that user journey is clear, and many of us, if you do have a problem, please reach out to Shane at innovationsummit.co.za. My colleague, Dwayne, will put that in the chat. And then there's also Lindy Nkosi at innovationsummit.co.za. If you have any tech challenges, there is also tech at techtribeaccelerator.co.za. But all of this will be shared to you via email. Your registration details will also be shared to you if you don't have them already. And then this video will also be shared to you so that you can trace back. And then that will bring us to the last 10 minutes where we can start addressing some of your questions and comments. I see, Puleng, you've just registered and ready to go. I love it. I love it. Let's go, Puleng. Let's go get those deals. This is the time. Just did the registration. Wonderful. So guys, let's then jump back here. Dwayne, I'm going to take some guidance from you if I'm missing any of these questions, but I'll start over with Siviwe. Siviwe is asking if will the guys that are pitching in the garage competition exhibition be pitching or just exhibiting their products? So just for context here is that there are a bunch of pitching competitions and finalists being showcased at the S Innovation Summit this year. It's different formats, different audiences. Some of you are in food tech, some of you are in early stage tech, some of you are in hardware tech. And so we're trying to position you with the audiences and investors that will be most likely to act on you and work with you. So I just want to give that a context, so you guys know who else is in the room, and it's important that you guys you understand that you guys are entrepreneurs that are on a similar journey and can benefit from networking with each other. So there was a blog there in the discussion board on the Tech Tribe Accelerator. Use that space to exchange contacts, to connect with each other, exchange ideas, etc. And take this process more than just what it is about now. Actually, it's about building your business, about building your network, and being successful in the long term. So that being said, Siviwe, is that the guys, firstly, and Yvonne said this perfectly, you are always pitching. So whether you are in the garage exhibition, whether you're walking at the summit, whether you're on the plane and sitting next to someone on the way there, you are always pitching. So if you are getting a little bit nervous, it's perfectly fine. Courage is not about not being afraid. It's about acting even though you're afraid, even though you are anxious. And so, and the anxiety is really a sign that this really matters to you. I want to encourage you to practice, to think about your 30-second pitch, your 1-minute pitch, the different audiences that you'll be at, because how the Inventors Garage will happen is that, sure, you'll be exhibiting and people will come to you and ask you, so tell me about your business. So what do you do? Some of them might then stay there and ask more questions, and you can actually end up talking to them for 10 minutes, having a conversation for 10 minutes, or they're just passing by and they say hi, and you want to attract them to come to you. And so you then give a 30-second pitch or a 10-second pitch. Hey, by the way, we're the best at doing this and this. My name is Siviwe. So firstly, I want to say that, I want to encourage you to be in that mindset and that frame of thought. But secondly, what's going to be happening in particular with Inventors Garage is that cameras are going to be coming to your exhibition room, and the judges are going to be coming to your exhibition stall, and they're going to be asking you that question of, tell us more about your business. So they're going to be starting a conversation with you, and through that conversation, they will be judging you, which means that, you really want to be prepared for the different perspectives that they might be coming to you at. You won't necessarily be, given an opportunity to say, pitch for 5 minutes or 7 minutes or 3 minutes. Although in the conversation, you can find time to do that if you prepare well. So that's the response for yourself there, Siviwe. I will then come over to Oscar here, and Oscar's asking, when is the stage pitching and can we have a brief of the panels? Oscar, I'm going to assume you are asking about the judges, a brief of the judges. If you are talking about the panels in terms of the rest of the program, that is available on our website. There's a highlights available on our website, innovationsummit.co.za. I'll kindly ask that Dwayne shares that highlights, the program's highlight, or the draft program with you. If actually we can, I think it's quite nearby for me. I'll share the draft program, but I'll ask if Dwayne can pop into the chat the website link, so you can see what's going to be happening from a program perspective. Let's see if I can actually attach something here. But in terms of the judges, those for each of the pitching competitions, it will be communicated to you. In terms of who will be your judges and etc. In due time. So please expect those in the emails, those briefs. Moving forward here then, I'm actually not winning in this attachment. Let's see if yourself, Dwayne, you can be more successful with the link. And I'm just moving forward here. Buleng has just registered. Itzeng is asking, how long is the pitch? It varies. As I mentioned, there's different formats, etc. Along with the briefing of the judges and how long you prepare for, that will be coming within the coming week. Lindy, my colleague Lindy, will be sharing those with you. Some of them have not been confirmed, like some of your colleagues on Boost Up, for example. Some of the other countries are still being confirmed. So once all of that is confirmed, you'll then know. But it's between 3 to 5 minutes if you're on stage. But as Yvonne rightfully said, and this is really the crux of today, is for us to get deals in the coming months, we need to be in a mindset of deal making. We need to be a mindset of having conversations about closing opportunities, spotting and closing opportunities. So even though you are refining for a specific opportunity on stage, get interest, really what the crux of the conversation is here is how do we prepare you to have conversations, different audiences, different opportunities, etc. So want to bring us back to that let's expand the definition of what we call a pitch here, and so that we can have a higher success rate on our deals and starting conversations that actually end up in deals. But that information will come to you in saying on the specifics of each pitching competition. Hoitzema, you're asking here on the content being available for downloading. So most of the content is very data friendly. The videos are also low bandwidth. It's also accessible on your mobile device. And if you want offline versions of the reading material, that can be provided to you. The videos, however, at this point in time, because of this course in particular, there's other courses like the investment readiness program that you go through for 7 months. That one is very intense. We get into your business under the hood, into your co-founders or ex-co rooms, and we spill some blood together with some hard conversations. For that one, then all the material, there's a process for that. But for this one, if you want the offline version, the reading material, we can send through to you a PDF. If anyone wants that, reach out to Lindy Nkosi at innovationsummit.co.za, as well as Dwayne at innovationsummit.co.za, and we can make that plan for you. You will have about a week to confirm that, so before the end of next week, if that's what you need, because then a batch will be sent out on the 19th of September. So I think the 19th. So yeah, if you can say by the 16th that you need it, then by the 19th you will have it. So there's only about next week for that availability for people to confirm. Hoitzemang, I hope that answers your question. I'm moving on here. Hope you guys can see the queries related to today. To reach out, there's email addresses popped in the chat. See there's the pitching competitions happening, the link to those as well made available there. And I'm jumping over to yourself, Jade. Jade Bardens is asking, are there allocated time slots for pitching, and how does it look? I'm not sure what the event will look like, what the different audiences and the setups that we can expect. Jade, the program, the brief program that, the draft program that I mentioned that we'll share with you is going to cover those. But I think just to put everyone at ease very quickly, I'll pull it up onto my screen just so that you guys can, at least from a planning perspective, in case you haven't seen it, is just to give you a sense of what will happen on which day. So very quickly here, this is the draft program for the summit, right? And I'm just going to cover some of the pitching opportunities here. So on the day before, day 0, you guys start on day 0. That's us workshopping on the 26th of September, where we'll go through the deep dive workshop with Phoebe Global. Really getting into more of the nooks and crannies on how to refine your pitching. And then what will be happening is that there'll be a match and invest sessions happening here. So this is networking, which means that before you ever arrive at the summit, you should have set up meetings. You can find people, find the investors, find the entrepreneurs that are similar to you, maybe in different countries, find the distributors and set up meetings. And then what will be starting off here at 9:45 is going to be Wiz Founders pitching. So this is really the boost up pitching. So all the 5 African countries that are battling out on the stage, this will be 9:45 till 10:45. We still continue with our match and invest throughout the day. So if you are not in a program and you're not pitching, you should be pitching to someone in a meeting, networking. And that's the pitching on the first day in the morning. Later in the afternoon, there will then be the building innovations with environmental and social impact pitching competitions. So this is all the team members that are pitching to make the world a cleaner and a better place. You'll be here from 3:30 until 5 o'clock. Then on the 28th, we still start off the day with a lot of networking, big on that. And that's continued pitching, right? And then just after that goes into Inventors Garage. That's 12 till about 1 o'clock. That's when, you'll be exhibiting the whole time, but during this time is when those cameras will be coming over to you and they'll be zooming into your exhibition booth and asking you the questions that matter. And then we'll proceed later in the days. Then our food tech team, they'll be pitching food tech innovators about disrupting the space from farm to fork. All the best to you. And then you don't want to miss this, because on the 29th is Founders Day. This is where we are now talking about venture building skills, resources, and information. We're going to hear from people that have been there and done that, talking about the founder's journey. I'm talking about the post-pandemic customer. It's a different world now, guys. You should be as well doing things quite differently, at least from a perspective point of view, thinking about things quite differently when it comes to business models, especially. And we'll be talking about commercializing in regulated industries. Some of you guys are in the health space or in the finance space. Some of you guys are in spaces where there isn't any regulation. It's important that you have in mind the regulators' mindset. Because you launch a business and then the next day government says we're going to regulate, this is going to stop, and you weren't part of that conversation, your business is closed overnight. And so you want to understand what the thinking is behind regulators and government, so that you can proactively start the conversation if in your industry, in your country, currently there isn't a regulation. And then we talk about tricks of the trade, really about de-risking and building up evidence behind your value proposition. So this will be Founders Day here, ending up at 12 o'clock into a food for thought, lunch being served, and that's the end of the program. I'll pause there, as that is a teaser. This is a draft, but you will get the final version in your emails as well. Make sure that you have registered on Quicket. And as soon as you do that, you'll get more information. Thanks. Let me then jump back here to we're going to be having to close very soon though. So any other questions we'll be able to address, I hope, online, but I think it's just one more here. Olivia, those pointers on traction, we'll share the video with you just in appreciation of time. And Machnayem, I'm really sorry about that. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Please do help me at some point, Ms. Ambata. But you are asking about the deal books and that it's due to start 9th of August. Yes, that is 9th of September. That you'll be getting information on your deal books. I think the team will note there. Thanks for picking that up to update that typo.
Punchu, could I address that question about traction? Because I do have to leave also. In terms of traction, more detail, traction is telling people how you're going to grow. So if you've got a marketing strategy you're going to put into effect, like social media, we're going to reach out to these people, those people, or whatever. That's what traction is. You've got to show people actually how you're going to get it, not just said we're going to grow from this point to that point. So traction shows it step by step, whether it's through marketing or whatever sources you're going to use. So being specific with that. So I thank you all. I've got another call, people waiting on me again, but we'll look forward to for you on the 26th. Okay? Bye-bye.
Bye, you both. Take care. And on that note, perfect note to close. and say thanks to everyone for joining, coming on board on this journey. I want to wish you all the best. Much respect to many of you carving out new paths that haven't been walked before, putting many of you guys, your livelihoods on the line, taking financial risk, all because you have a dream, you have a purpose, and you're working on a business that's solving an important problem, and you want to live a life of freedom, but through by being an entrepreneur and the work that you do. So really well done, all of you. At this point in time, you are all finalists and winners. And I want to wish you all the best in the coming weeks and your preparations. Looking forward to seeing you all at the Earth Innovation Summit this year, and we'll be in touch online. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.